Thanks. So again, my name is Rich Maloy, and I'm here today to talk about sales primer for non-sales founders. And this topic actually started as a mentor session. The guy who was mentoring me inside of IBM, he left to go start his next startup because he had just sold one to IBM, and so he left. And one day he says, "Okay, it's your turn. Now I need you to help me." He's this brilliant engineer and this great personable guy, and just could sit down and talk with anybody. And he was going to he was going to a conference in his industry, which was the auto industry. And he said, "I don't know how to sell. What do I do? I'm what am I supposed to do here?" I said, "Okay, calm down. It's not that hard, right?" And I talked through some of it with him, and it turned into a blog post, and then it turned into this presentation. And so, just real quick, I'd like to know who all in the audience has sales experience, has been a salesperson before. All right, cool, awesome. And who all is terrified of sales, right? Yeah. And who all hates when the speakers ask people to raise their hands, right? It's annoying, right, Ryan? It's the worst. So thank you, David, for the nice intro. So my mission is to transform the world through innovation and entrepreneurship. And I'm very fortunate that I get to do that through IBM, because we have this startup program called the Global Entrepreneur Program. And what we do is we take big company resources and we give them to startups. And we make sure that the startups have what they need to succeed. That includes credits on the IBM Cloud Platform, business mentorship, technical mentorship, marketing support, and any connections that we can make to support you and support your growth. Happy to chat with you more about this. All the slides are available at that bit.ly link, Sales Primer. Feel free to grab them, read ahead, realize that this is a super boring talk and it's not relevant, and you want to bounce out and go to the next one. All good. Or follow along and grab them for later. And my Twitter handle is StonyBaby. It has nothing to do with the fact that I live in Colorado, I swear. It's actually my gamer tag, so if there's any gamers out there, represent my people. All right, so this presentation is for non-sales founders, and anybody is welcome, and I want all of your feedback on what you think we're missing and what I should be adding to this. And I will say that I do have a bit of a B2B leaning. To me, B2C is marketing, and I'm not a great marketer. On the sales side, I was my first career was in finance, second career was in sales. Both of those were in New York. And in that sales career, I was a chairman level club producer for a couple of years. And so did the sales thing for a while, and then got out of that and got into the startup world. But my focus has always been on the B2B side. And so B2C may be a little bit of a different world, but happy to get your feedback on what you think about this. So the other thing is that you as a founder are actually the best one to be out there selling. You have the title for it. First of all, if you're a 3-person company, or a 6-person company, I don't want to talk to the account director, right? I want to talk to the founder, and I want to know why the CEO or the founder is too busy to talk to me. The next thing is that you're actually already out there doing it. If you're down there pitching, or you're talking to somebody else and you're giving them your elevator pitch, you're already selling. You already have the basic skill set and the basic tools that you need in order to go out and to start selling. But the most important thing is passion. You cannot replace passion. And as a founder, you're the most passionate person about your business. Nobody else cares as much about this. Nobody else has put this much into it, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, of what goes into your into your product, right? Guilty. Right? You have the passion for this. I want to share a story with you. So we get out as part of our program. We get out to many of the accelerator programs. And I live in Boulder, and so I get to go to the Techstars Boulder program. And last summer at the Techstars Boulder program, we met this company called BlazingDB. And they're part of the IBM Global Entrepreneur Program. They're taking advantage of the credits. They're kicking butt. And so we meet these founders, right? And what they do is they take database computation and they run it through GPUs, graphic processor units, instead of CPUs. So super geeky stuff. And we're sitting there and we're talking with these 2 founders, and so tell us a little bit more about the business, right? And I'm not technical, so I'm probably going to screw some of this stuff up, right? But basically, it went something like this. So we're running these databases, we're running these queries, and we run this massive query on it's a gigajabillion sets of data, and what we need to do, and it's super soft and unstructured, and it's going to take us 16 days to run this one query. And so what we did is we found out that if you run this data through a CPU, it's running through at 24 bits, right? But if you run it through a GPU, you need to break it down into 8 bits, and the flux capacitor on the CPU can't handle it, but the star deck on the GPU definitely can. And so what we did is we took 24, we divided it by 8, and we divided by 3 and we got 8. And we're all like, that's brilliant. We walked out of there, we're like, so what do? I don't know, they take 24, they divide it by 3, you get 8. I want it. I want it, man. We were in love with these guys, still are in love with them, because they had the passion for this. And that, you cannot replace that. Sales training programs try to teach you how to bring your passion into the sale. You have that passion, and so you need to be the one selling it. Now, there is a pitfall to avoid. Pitfall? Yeah. Come on, gamers out there. Atari 2600. Who was around Atari 2600? Love it. Hated this game, right? So hiring a salesperson too early. When you are just starting out, the salesperson should not be your first hire. You should still be the one out there hiring selling and talking to the customers. And there's a lot of good reasons for that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But talking to your customers, right? Is this your customer? Right? You're talking to this guy. Beta? What is a beta? Right? This is the intimidating part about sales, and this is where people a lot of times get scared, and then they don't want to sell. Right? You're going to talk to somebody that is not interested, that's falling asleep with a cigarette in their mouth and doesn't understand what the heck a beta is. That's okay. We'll talk a little bit about why rejection is okay and why you still need to go out and talk to customers like this. But your first reaction to meeting resistance is going to be you're going to want to give your product away, right? Give it away, give it away, give it away now. So you want to give it away, right? You're just like, you know what? I just need a customer. I need one customer, just one, right? Who's going to be my first customer? Can I give it to you? Can I give it to you? Can I give it to you? You should not do this. Should you give it away? No. With some caveats, all right? There are some caveats. But the reasons that you should not give it away, first of all, they need to have skin in the game. You want somebody to be invested in your product. It also devalues your product. Hey, cool, I spent my whole, last 5 years building this thing and developing this idea. What's it worth? It's worth nothing. Here, just have it, take it, it's all yours, right? You have immediately devalued yourself and your product. I want you to feel the value of your product and to own it and to welcome it, right? And you also want these people to have skin in the game, because if they have skin in the game, you're going to get feedback. And this is where you're in this build, measure, learn phase, right? The Irish fellow whose name I forget, who was just up here, was showing the plan, ship, get measure feedback, plan, ship V2, measure feedback. You are in this phase. You need to have that interface with the customer. And so one of the things to set this up in advance, actually the feedback piece of this, and I'll give you some what we in the sales world we call word tracks, right? But a great word track as you're engaging with that early customer is hey Angie, we're really invested and we're building this product for you, right? And so I want to know what works for you. And so I want to be able to have a regular conversation with you to hear about, is this a good product, is this a good feature, and what is it that you need next from us? And if Angie is invested in this product, then she is going to give me that feedback, and my product is going to get better faster. And you're the CEO or the founder or the early member of the team, and so you have that and you can bring that back to the team. So there are some ways, though, that we can get around the paid with an asterisk, right? Price it, then discount it. I talked a little bit about being a gamer, right? And on Steam, I love when games go on sale on Steam. Steam is a platform for PC gamers where you can buy video games, right? There is this natural human reaction to getting a discount. Yes, score, I got it, right? You got that discount. So price it, put a price on your product, and then tell people, I'd love to give you this product at a discount, right? Because I want that early partnership with you. I value your input, and so I want that input. And so for that, in exchange for that, I'm willing to knock 50% off of this product for you, right? And then you also get some degree of value exchange by putting a price on it, But if you still want to go to market and offer a free product, you need to have a timeline or a path to paid. And there's two ways you can do a path to paid. One is you can set goals, and two is you can set a timeline. And the timeline is easy, right? We've all been a part of free trials, premium products, freemium products. Both of those are examples of this in the B2C space. Well, it works in the B2C. Why not do it in the B2B space? Why not offer that timeline and that path to paid? Goal-based. If you know what your customers' goals are and you know what they're looking for to get out of your product, then put that into your sales contract with them. Say, okay, if Mr. Client, what you're looking for is you're looking for 100 new leads a week out of this product that we're going to give to you. So I'll tell you what. Well, we're going to give it to you for free for the next 3 months. But then after 3 months, if we give you 100 leads a month, then we're just going to start charging you, right? And build this into your contract from the very beginning, so that at a certain point, whether it's goal-based or timeline-based or a combination, you switch over into having a paid product. And so you can still give it away, right? But you have to have that. And you also put that into the sales contract. And this is another pitfall to avoid, is you need to hire a lawyer for sales contracts. Take it from me. I've been there. I've done my part to support the nice small business lawyers in our community by not having lawyers look at contracts before they went off for some important things. So don't take them follow the path that I took and think that you can get the free lawyers from Rocket Lawyer or the free contracts or whatever. Hire a lawyer, have a good lawyer that you can work with on a number of different things, but definitely on the sales contract side. All right, so we're ready to go out and face the marketplace. Right? We've got our passion. We've got a few things that we could say. We're ready to price it, ready to ask for value in exchange. So as you're out there and you have little or no sales already, and this is the conversation I had with my friend, how do you start to build credibility? And this is the pyramid. This is the sales funnel, if you will, or the pyramid structure for building that credibility. Great. Tell me about the clients that you're working with. Well, we're still looking for that, and this is another good word track if you get asked for how many clients do you have or what clients are you working with, and you have none, right? Don't lie and make up imaginary clients. You should never lie. But talk about the conversations you're having. We're still looking for that one right early stage partner. And we're in conversations with a dozen companies right now. Right? If you're having conversations with companies, that builds a little bit of credibility. It's not the best thing in the world, right? It'd be nicer if you had clients. But build a little credibility by saying we're in conversations right now. The next stage is in negotiations. We're in negotiations with 3 different companies. A few of them are big ones. Out of respect to them, I can't mention who they are, but we are in negotiations right now. And then lastly, clients. The clients piece. When you do get there, do ask permission from your clients to use their name and get those referrals down from them. But really, out in the marketplace, it mostly looks like this. Conversations and conversations and conversations and conversations. When I was doing sales, I started out with no sales training, and I joined a company that had a sales training program. And my goal every single day was to make 100 phone calls. Making money, not making money. Making money, not making money. That was the sales floor that I was on, right? You don't need to be doing that. But just know that in sales, there is this terminology, or this phrase in sales that is, sales is a numbers game. So just get out and have conversations. They don't have to be sales calls. You don't have to make cold calls, send cold emails. Get out into the world and have conversations. So, whoops. As you're having those conversations, this is a pro tip. Be prepared to repeat yourself. You can ask my team. I have taken the part of my brain that says, Rich, you've already said this before, and I've removed it because you will say the same thing over and over and over again. And so be prepared to repeat yourself. But this is the first time this might be the 100th time that I have said that you take 24 and you divide it by 3 and you get 8. But it's the first time that you've heard me say you take 24 and you divide it by 3 and you get 8, and then you can run your databases 40 times faster. Right? You haven't heard that before until I've said it, but I've said it 100 times. So be prepared to repeat yourself, and it's totally okay. Another example of this, my wife is a singer, and she says that, She says that, it might be the 100th time that I've sung I Will Survive at a wedding, but it is the first time that they have heard I Will Survive at their wedding. And they want to hear that passion, and they want to feel that passion. So it might be the 100th time that you have divided 24 by 3 and got 8, but be prepared to bring that passion back every single time. So as you're out and you are building your credibility, when you've had those as you've gone from the conversation phase to the negotiation phase, oh, this is great, Rich, I'm interested in that. Like, tell me more about that. That's awesome. Here's how I see that fitting in. Oh, cool. Now you're in the negotiations phase. This is where Paul Graham's advice of do things that don't scale comes into play. And if you haven't read the article, do read the article. The link is there, or just Google it, do things that don't scale. It's the first thing that pops up, right? But this is where I'll give you a great example. Working with a startup to schedule office hours. We'll be at Launch Festival next week, and then down at Collision Festival in April. And so we're going to do office hours, and we bring in our technical mentors and our business mentors, and we offer them up to the community. Well, the platforms out there to do office hours kind of suck. So I found the startup out there that has a platform for doing this. And so what we're going to do is we've engaged them, and they are going to build out this platform for it. And he is building out our entire layout for this by hand. Instead of me doing it to him, I just handed him my schedule, and he's just gonna set it all up for me. Right? Does it scale? No. Does it give him great exposure? Yes. And do I have skin in the game? Yes. Because if my stuff doesn't work, I'm vested in that success as well. And then also from the clients, I mentioned this before, right? But ask for permission to use their logo. Ask for referrals from them. Actually, let's actually pause and talk about ask for referrals. One of the other successes that good salespeople have is they just say, "Who do you know? Oh, this isn't right for you? That's fine, awesome, great. Who do you know that this is good for? Who do you know that I should probably be talking to?" I mean, people want to help people, especially founders. Let me say that again. People want to help people. And so don't be afraid to go out and ask for referrals. Don't be afraid to go out and just talk to people and engage people about your product. A few times you'll come across some jerks. That's okay. Don't let them discourage you from the rest of the world. So ask for those referrals, and then ask for their permission to use their logo. Ask for the permission to say that they're a client. So as you're out in the world, right, and you are talking to people, you're going to get no's. You're going to get a lot of no's. And this is the rejection thing. And I thought about doing a slide that said rejection is okay, right? And like having somebody look like this. But that's not how I want you to think about this. What I want you to think about is the fact that everything's okay. No is okay. In fact, you want to get to know. And this is another sales trick, right? I know you're going to say no at some point, and so I'm just going to keep asking questions until you say no. Does this product interest you? Yeah, it does. Cool. Could you see it fitting in your company? Yeah, I totally could. Awesome. Will you buy it right now? No, I won't. Okay. All right, cool. No worries. So tell me about that, right? So when you get to know, expect that you're going to get it. You should go into every sales conversation, expecting to get a no. And then you just keep asking and asking until you get that no. And then when you get that no, the next thing that you do is you get curious. Oh, wow, really? You don't want to buy this product? Oh, okay, cool. How come? Well, I'm, blah, 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 and this and that. And I have a million excuses. Okay, that's fine. You start to talk about some of those objections. We call these objections. You want to get to the objection. You want to understand what the objection is, right? It's okay. Getting to that no is a critical part of the sales process. You're not going to make that sale immediately on the spot. You're going to have to travel down this path. And so you need to know, what are the obstacles ahead of me? The obstacles could be that I don't have budget, or my boss holds the budget, or you need an internal champion, and I can't be your internal champion, or we can't do this right now, or we don't have the staff to implement this, right? Understand those objections. When I went to the guy who's going to set up when I went to the startup who's going to set up the office hours scheduling for us, I was like, I'd love to use your software, but it's super confusing, and I don't know what the heck to do, and I don't really have the time to do this, and I know this other interface. So I gave him my no, because I'm a nice guy, right? I gave him my objection right off the bat. So be curious when you get to those. And then lastly, and we'll leave a little bit of time here for questions. This is my grandma. She turns 97 this year. And she has been a huge inspiration. And one of her quotes is, "You never know unless you ask." This is great advice from her. Her other advice was that she uses her white hair to merge. And so she always sticks her head out like, "Hi, I'm a nice little old lady," with a lead foot. She's quite the fast driver, right? That's not as relevant right now, right? But just keep that in mind later on. But the advice that is relevant right now is you never know unless you ask. Ask for that sale. Ask for that introduction. Ask for that referral. Ask for that no. And find out why. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, any questions?